Let's begin section 2.8, function, operations, and composition. First question gives us f of x, which is x minus 3, and g of x, which is x squared minus x. And we want to find and simplify the expression f plus g, in parentheses, negative 5. There are a couple ways of doing this. I'll show you. One way is to first combine the functions, find f plus g of x, where you are simply taking the f of x function and adding the g of x function. So if we do that, it's going to look like f of x, which is x minus 3, plus g of x, which is x squared minus x. Now you can simplify this by combining like terms. This is x squared, this this positive x here and this minus x here are opposites. They're going to cancel out. So when we simplify, we get x squared minus 3. So this is our general equation for f plus g of x. Now we want to find f plus g of negative 5. We can get that by plugging negative 5 into the x and then simplifying this. Negative 5 squared is 25, and 25 minus 3 is 22. So that's one way of solving this problem. Another way, an alternate way, would be to find f of negative 5 and g of negative 5, and then add the results together. So f of negative 5, we're going to plug negative 5 into the f function, and that will give us negative 5 minus 3, which is negative 8. And then you find g of negative 5. Plug negative 5 into the g of x function. Negative 5 squared minus, in parentheses, negative 5. When you simplify this, it's 25 plus 5, which is equal to 30. So the other way to find f plus g of negative 5 is to find f of negative 5 plus g of negative 5, and that is going to be negative 8 plus 30, which is equal to 22. So you can see there are two ways to get this answer. One is by finding a general, and then one is by and then plugging it in. And then the other way is by plugging it in first and then combining them. So the answer is 22. Let's look at number 2. Let f of x equals 4x squared plus 5 and g of x equals negative 2x plus 4. Find and simplify the expression. All right. You can use either technique. I'm going to do the first technique where you first find f of g of x in general. So this is the f of x function minus the g of x function. And this is going to be 4x squared plus 5 minus g of x function. I'm going to put this in parentheses because you want to subtract the entire g of x function, negative 2x plus 4. When you simplify this, distribute the negative sign. Distribute the negative here, and combine like terms. 4x squared plus 5 minus a negative 2x is plus 2x, and minus a positive 4 is minus 4. This simplifies to 4x squared plus 2x, and then we're going to combine this positive 5 with this minus 4, combine like terms to get plus 1. Now that's your basic f minus g of x, general form for any x, and we want to evaluate this for x equals -4. So we want to find f minus g of -4, plug in -4 for the x values, -4 quantity squared plus 2 times -4 plus 1. So order of operations, we're going to first do the powers. -4 squared is 16. So we're going to have 4 times 16 plus 2 times -4 plus 1. Now we're going to multiply 4 times 16 together. Four times 16 gives us 64. 2 times -4 is -8, plus a -8 is -8 plus 1. And then 64 minus 8 is 56, and 56 plus 1 is equal to 57. So our final answer should be 57. Now you can go through and plug in -4 in for f function and -4 into the g function, and then subtract the results. You should also get 57. You can try that one on your own. Let's look at number 3. F of x is equal to x squared minus 6, and g of x is equal to 16 minus x. Let's perform the composition or operation, fg of -3. That fg of -3 is a multiplication. This is the same thing as f of, I'm sorry, let's go back. If we want to find fg of x in general, that's going to be f of x times g of x. And f of x is equal to x squared minus 6, and g of x is equal to 16 minus x. So this is your fg of x. Now you can go through and simplify this using FOIL and get your answer, or we can plug in -3 now. And we can find fg of -3. You're going to plug -3 in for all of the x's. So this would be -3 squared minus 6, and 16 minus a -3. -3 squared is 9. So the first parentheses is 9 minus 6. And 16 minus a -3 is the same thing as 16 plus 3. 9 minus 6 gives us 3, and 16 plus 3 is 19. So 3 times 19 is 57. Let's check our answer, 57. Now again, you could plug in -3 into the f function first, plug -3 into the g function, then multiply the results, or as I have shown, you can multiply that whole f of x function times g of x. You could go through and use FOIL here, but it's not necessary. Let's look at number 4. Let f of x equals x squared minus 14 and g of x equals 2 minus x perform the composition or operation. We want to find, if we want to find f over g of x, that's the same thing as f of x divided by g of x. And this is the same as in the numerator, x squared minus 14 in the numerator, and 2 minus x in the denominator. Be careful here, don't try to divide, cancel anything out. You can't cancel anything out if it's next to a plus or a minus sign. So you cannot simplify this, but we can evaluate it. We can find f over g of 1. That's the same thing as f of 1 divided by g of 1. And if you plug 1 into the numerator for x, it's 1 squared minus 14, and the denominator is 2 minus 1. Simplify it. Simplify the whole numerator. 1 squared is 1. 1 minus 14 is negative 13 in the numerator, and 2 minus 1 is 1. We can simplify this to be negative 13. Okay, let's look at number 5. Okay, for the pair of functions defined, find f plus g, f minus g, fg, and f over g, and give the domain of each. I'm going to pause here and pick up this one in the next video.